other circulations where we have come across. Just to revise the total circulation, that is you have to remember. So when you study the heart or total heart structures, so I have told the first we are going to deal about the one part systemic. Just to revise, systemic circulation. Then I have told the second one, you have to remember pulmonary circulation. Then you have to remember about the portal circulation. Then last one you have to remember about the coronary circulation. So very important, this I have already teached you. Just to revise, this systemic circulation which is there, as we are going to get in the body, as we are going to see this is superior vena cava and this is the inferior vena cava. So you have to start with the superior inferior vena cava. First we are dealing the systemic circulation. This systemic circulation that is a very important, because almost all the body part receives its nutrition and all blood supply by the systemic circulation. Okay, and in this you have to remember, first word you have to remember, the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body. Deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body means head, neck, face, brain, is brought by the superior vena cava. And deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body brought through the inferior vena cava to the right atrium. Here you have to remember about the right atrium. So almost all blood from the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava reaching to the right atrium. First word, it is very important. Two different veins are there. Inferior vena cava is the biggest vein, and you have to separately say that the inferior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body. Means you have to tell abdomen, lower limb, thorax, almost all it is brought by the inferior vena cava deoxygenated blood. Upper part of the body, where neck, head, neck, face and central nervous system, brain, all that will supply deoxygenated blood brought to the right atrium. This is the first sentence you have to add. Then that is the right atrium contracts, it pumps the blood into the right ventricle. So when you see the right ventricle, that is it is coming from the right atrium to the right ventricle, there is a atrioventricular orifices. This is what we call as the one which is we call as a tricuspid wall. Okay, blood reaching to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, there is an arising with the semilunar walls which are there, 3 semilunar walls we are going to get, and this is we call as a pulmonary trunk. So pulmonary trunk arises from the right ventricle and it is divides into a right pulmonary artery, left pulmonary artery. So this is the left pulmonary artery, right pulmonary artery, and this is a pulmonary trunk we call it. Okay, whatever the blood from the right ventricle goes to into the passing through the semilunar wall, enters into the pulmonary trunk, and from the pulmonary trunk it divides into two, right and left pulmonary, but that is the artery, and from this that is reaches to the lungs. So here it is carrying to the total lungs, goes to the blood, goes to the lungs. From the lung, whatever the oxygenation is done, and those all which is we are going to get these 4 pulmonary veins. So pulmonary veins 4 are there. They are right 2 upper and lower, left we have the superior inferior. So these are 4 pulmonary veins oxygenated blood which is there from the lung, oxygenated blood which is brought to the pulmonary veins to the left atrium, and from left atrium the atrioventricular orifices, when left atrium contracts, it pumps to the blood to the left ventricle. So this left ventricle blood, how it is reaches? It reaches from the contraction of the left atrium, blood passing through the mitral valve, reaching to the left ventricle. Okay, from the left ventricle, the blood goes to the aorta. So this is the one aorta which is arising. You have to remember, and that is we call as a biggest artery of the body, that is the aorta. Okay, so you have to. So blood from the left ventricle, it pumps into the going into the aorta, and this aorta is having the part like ascending aorta, arch of aorta, and descending aorta. This part which is we call as ascending, this we call as a arch, and this we are going to call as a descending. So three parts of the aorta. Aorta is the biggest artery of the body, biggest artery. So blood, oxygenated blood which is there, that is all pumped into the aorta, and it is having the arch of aorta, ascending arch and descending aorta. So almost all these branches, again this arch of aorta giving three branches, which is there, they supply the head, neck, face, brain, almost all. Right brachiocephalic, left common carotid, left subclavian, all they are supplying to the head, neck, face and brain. Then remaining branches which are given by the aorta, almost all the body. So this way the circulation of blood we are going to study in the systemic circulation. So that is we call as a systemic circulation. Okay. Then second one, pulmonary circulation, which is you have to remember, whatever the blood deoxygenated is comes to the right atrium, blood reaching to the right ventricle. Right ventricle contract, it pumps the blood into the pulmonary trunk, and we are going to get the pulmonary artery. And these pulmonary arteries which carries to the blood to the lungs for the oxygenation. There is an exchanges of gases takes place, and there is an taking of the oxygen and giving the carbon dioxide to the blood. So there is exchanges of gases, and in the lung, from the lung oxygenated blood is brought to the pulmonary veins into the left atrium, and this we call blood reaching to the lung. There is an interchange or exchange of the gases. We are going to call that is a pulmonary, means lungs. That is relates to the lung. That is a pulmonary circulation. Then portal circulation. As you have the liver, which is we have the liver is a major organ in the abdomen, where the maximum blood crosses through the portal circulation. Maximum blood which is comes from the, that is the abdomen, crossing the liver through the portal circulation. One we have the portal vein, and maximum blood is crosses the liver, and that will be continuous and opens into the inferior vena. Abdominal blood total which is crosses the liver, passes the liver, reaching to the inferior vena cava and reaches to the right atrium. Portal circulation. So what is the portal circulation? Blood from the abdomen and lower limb, which is abdomen, maximum blood crosses the liver with the portal vein, and this portal vein will transmit the blood to the inferior vena cava, which is to the right atrium. That is we call as a portal circulation. Coronary circulation, it is a blood supply of heart. This is aorta, this ascending aorta, this gives the branches to coronary arteries. The ascending aorta gives to coronary artery branch. Coronary artery are the branches of the ascending aorta. These all two artery arises from the ascending aorta. They supply the heart. Right coronary artery, right atrium, right ventricle, maximum left coronary artery supplying the left atrium, left ventricle. So these two arteries are the major blood supplying to the heart. And whatever this all blood oxygenated reaches to the blood, that is the heart tissue, that is brought again to the venous opening. Here we have the coronary sinus. This coronary sinus, what it is? It is an opening inside the right atrium where the deoxygenated blood of the heart comes into the right atrium. So coronary artery supplying the blood supply to the heart, and venous blood of the heart is brought by that is a coronary sinus into the right atrium. So blood supply of the heart, total blood supply of the heart and venous returns of the heart, it is by the cardiac veins. We have the middle cardiac, superior cardiac, inferior, middle cardiac veins. Through this it comes and reaches to the, that is the coronary sinus. So coronary artery, coronary circulation, blood supply of the heart, and coronary artery plays an important role. You have to remember they are the branch of the ascending aorta. They are two in number, right coronary artery, left coronary. Portal, abdominal maximum blood which is reaches and crosses the liver, that is we call as a portal circulation. Pulmonary means lungs, blood which is reaches to the pulmonary trunk to the lung, that is we call oxygenated, is brought to the left atrium, that is a pulmonary circulation. Then systemic, as we have studied entirely, that is all about the systemic. And I have told what is the fetal circulation. After studying these four, you can apply the what is the difference in the fetal circulation and systemic circulation. Systemic circulation, again you have connect this with the mother's circulation, and fetal is from the placenta to the umbilical cord. So these are the very important 5 circulations in our body, and they are very important. You should know all the in the fetal circulation. I have told what you should know important, what is the ductus arteriosus means, what is the patent ductus arteriosus means, what is the foramina ovale, what is the fossa ovalis. Then I have told the ligamentum venosum or ductus venosus. These all point remembering in the fetal circulation. Coronary circulation, I have told 3 points, arising from the right and left coronary artery from the ascending aorta, and the coronary sinus you have told. Portal liver, portal which is almost all relates to the liver, so that you have to remember liver maximum. And this liver is 80% is receives the blood supply, 80% that is by the portal veins only, and 20% by the hepatic artery. That we will study in the liver. Pulmonary circulation, lungs, very important thing, where the deoxygenated blood going to the lung, oxygenated blood brought to the heart. That we call as the pulmonary. Systemic circulation, almost all the body receives the oxygenated blood nutrition, that is we call as the systemic circulation. So these all 5 circulations you should know and should not be confused with the anything in this. So this is the one which is you have to remember about the basic introductory part of the cardiovascular system, and you have to remember about the what are the sub circulations we have, that you have. So this is the one which is today's lecture, which is gives you the idea about the different circulations, and that relates to the heart, or the we call as a systemic circulation. Is it clear? So right now points.